Recognizing early stroke warning signs and prevention. Were you aware that your body sends out signals a month or just a few days before you suffer a stroke? There is no question that strokes are one of the leading causes of death worldwide. The most unusual aspect of a stroke is that, even though the symptoms typically appear rapidly, it may take a person several hours or even days to become aware that something is wrong. A stroke is a medical emergency because the blood that your heart is pumping is not reaching a section of your brain. Thousands of neurons will die every second in that part of the brain because it will not be getting enough oxygen and nutrients. For whatever reason, cardiovascular disorders are becoming more common over the world, particularly among young people. Regardless of how unimportant they may appear, there are certain warnings that you should always pay attention to. A lot of the signals that happen a month prior are not obvious, and many people overlook them or mistake them for something else. The most crucial thing is that you are able to identify them. If you see any of the indicators that will be shown in this video, you should get to a doctor very away, as they may indicate that you are likely to have a stroke. Today, you will learn about the 7 indicators that your body shows a month before a stroke, as well as how to prevent this condition and eliminate this dreadful statistic. The initial indication is that the pressure is consistently high. If your blood pressure is not effectively managed, your chances of having a stroke can increase significantly. Blood pressure is the force that blood exerts against the walls of our arteries. When this pressure is elevated, it is referred to as high blood pressure. Blood arteries can be damaged by this high pressure, and over time, it can lead them to become narrower, weaker, and even rupture. A hemorrhagic stroke can happen if a blood vessel in the brain bursts because of excessive blood pressure, which can cause bleeding. If high blood pressure harms the arteries that provide blood to your brain, it can decrease blood flow and cause a blockage, which can result in an ischemic stroke. That's how vital it is to know if you are hypertension and if you are hypertensive to manage it effectively. In order to manage high blood pressure, you should adjust your lifestyle and take your medications as prescribed. This is necessary in order to lower the chances of having a stroke or other heart-related illnesses. Second sign, extreme tiredness. Extreme exhaustion or excessive fatigue might be a symptom or warning indication that a stroke is about to happen. Keep in mind that there are various reasons that can produce weariness. Stroke-related fatigue is severe and leads to ongoing exhaustion. This may be unusual for you, and it is not connected to physical activity or insufficient sleep, among other things. Changes in the flow of blood to the brain may be responsible for excessive weariness. Atherosclerosis, which causes arteries to constrict, or a blood clot that disrupts the flow of oxygen, could be the reason for this. If you are feeling more weary than usual, it is a good idea to go to a doctor for a thorough evaluation. A transient ischemic attack, which is often called a mini-stroke, can sometimes occur after a person has experienced excessive exhaustion. A warning that there is a momentary issue with the brain's blood flow. A transient ischemic attack is a temporary ailment that can be a sign that a stroke is about to occur. The symptoms are short-lived, often lasting anywhere from a few minutes to a few hours, and they do not result in any lasting harm to the brain. In most cases, an artery in the brain becomes blocked, but within 24 hours, the body is able to clear the clot, and the patient no longer experiences symptoms. However, this is a strong sign that you are about to have a stroke. Vision problems, the third sign. A sudden change in your eyesight could be a warning sign of a stroke. Brain circulation injury may also be indicated by symptoms such as blurred vision, double vision, issues with the eyes, and difficulty focusing. Vision loss can happen when one of the arteries that provide blood to the eye becomes blocked. Naturally, there are numerous reasons why someone might have visual issues. Nevertheless, it does not prevent the investigation of what is going on. Fourth sign, weakness or numbness in the extremities. A warning indication that a stroke may be imminent is numbness or weakness in the extremities, particularly on one side of the body. This abrupt feeling of numbness or weakness typically happens in one area of the body, such as the arm or leg, or on one side of the body. It is possible for one side of the body to lose its sense of touch. These symptoms typically only linger for a few minutes or hours, but they should never be disregarded. It is important to evaluate any neurological issues, even if they are not strokes. Speech problems are the fifth sign. A person who is about to have a stroke may suddenly find it difficult to speak. The person may have difficulty pronouncing words or forming entire sentences, and their speech may be slurred. Aphasia is the term used to describe the condition in which a person has difficulty understanding, formulating, or expressing speech. Sixth sign, a sudden and severe headache. A stroke may be preceded by a sudden headache. It is crucial to remember that not every headache is caused by a stroke, and not every stroke is preceded by a headache. Headaches happen during an ischemic stroke because blood supply to the brain is blocked. When these pains happen, they are reported as being abrupt and intense. Hemorrhagic stroke happens when there is bleeding in the brain. The headaches that accompany this type of stroke are equally severe and are caused by the bleeding. People usually say that this kind of headache is the most painful one. A severe headache can be a warning indication that an aneurysm in the brain is about to burst. This is another issue that you should always be aware of. Seventh sign, and other neurological symptoms. A person who is about to suffer a stroke, whether it is hemorrhagic or ischemic, may experience various neurological symptoms. Earlier signs may also include nausea, vomiting, memory issues, and loss of balance. To put it another way, they might show up a couple of days or weeks before the brain closes. On the other hand, there are a number of additional differential diagnostic issues that might produce comparable symptoms. These symptoms may occur in individuals who have seizures, hypoglycemia, encephalitis, brain tumors, anxiety attacks, or infections in the central nervous system. Therefore, it is important to choose a qualified doctor so that you can have a thorough evaluation. You now understand that a stroke can be just one step away if your blood flow is disrupted. Other risk factors that might lead to a stroke include alcohol and drug misuse, obesity, a poor diet, depression, anxiety, and a lack of physical activity. All of these conditions cause certain processes to occur in your body, which can lead to a stroke. In truth, strokes do not always display any symptoms before they occur. This is the reason why prevention is so important. Keep your blood pressure under control. Keep your blood glucose levels within the typical range. Make sure you exercise for at least 150 minutes per week. Consume foods that are fresh and nutritious. Stay away from foods that have been processed, sugar, and too much saturated fat. Keep your cholesterol levels in check. Also, make sure to maintain your appointments with your cardiologist current. These activities will help you avoid having a stroke in the future. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you found this video useful. You may also promote brain health among others by sharing the video. I will see you next time.